welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this makeup look today. As with all of my makeup looks, they're very wearable and easy and basically everyday looks, and this has just been my winter go-to face. So if you guys want to see the products that I have been using recently and how I achieve this look, then keep watching. Okay, so before I get into any makeup, I have already prepped my skin with my moisturizer, and in the winter, moisturizer is very important to me, obviously, because I don't want flaky, gross, dry skin. So the moisturizer that I swear by in the winter is the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. It comes in this pot, and I just take a little bit on my first two fingers and rub it into my skin very gently. And then for my eyes, I like the Kiehl's Creamy Eye treatment with avocado, and again, just keeps my eyes looking hydrated. I have been loving going for a glowier look, so the primer that I am going to be using today is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter Base, and it's a really glowy, almost highlighter base, and because of that, I just apply it to areas that I like a little bit of glow. Normally with primers, I'll apply it everywhere, but with this guy, because it does have some shimmer to it, I try to keep it in areas that I want to look glowy, because this will definitely bring the glow factor. Because I've been sick and tired and just everything, my under eye circles are pretty bad right now, and I have found a concealer that I actually love for this, and I haven't honestly used a concealer just for color correcting underneath my eyes since I was maybe in middle school or high school, and that's a long time ago. So the concealer that I've been using is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, and it's this little pot because I did actually get it in a package, so it's a mini size, and I just take a little bit of it onto a concealer brush, and I will just apply it to the inner corner because that's where I really get the most discoloration, and I just want to apply this with enough time for it to really set and find its place on my face before I apply my foundation and concealer over it. And for those of you guys wondering, this is a Sigma Precision Round P82 brush. So I think you guys can see that definitely woke me up a little bit. And I will, if I just have extra, bring this down the sides of my nose to help with the contouring that we're going to do there later. So something that I have started doing recently, and I'm not sure if I'm going to commit to it forever, but it has been doing my eyebrows before going in and doing the rest of my makeup. So while the concealer and moisturizer is still setting into my skin, I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. And I like to do my brows now before my foundation. One, because if I make any mistakes, the foundation can help kind of clean up the eyebrows, but also because once you have your eyebrows filled in, it helps you frame out the rest of your face for the rest of the makeup look. But I really just like it because I can clean up with my foundation afterwards in case I overdo it a little bit. So right now, my eyebrows are definitely more like sisters and twins, which is what everyone always says, because I've been noticing as I fill them in that this eyebrow always gets thicker than this eyebrow. This is the Anastasia Brow Definer Pencil in Dark Brown. This is my favorite brow product ever, and a lot of the products I'm featuring in today's video are actually probably from my favorites video, which if you guys haven't seen that, I will link that right here. If you guys want a full video, I request it down below in the comment section, and I can have it up for you guys. Have you guys ever had someone compliment your eyebrows and you don't know if it's a compliment? Because a lot of times when I fill in my eyebrows, a stranger will just be like, nice eyebrows, and I don't, I guess it depends on the way the person says it, but a couple times when someone has complimented my eyebrows, I don't feel as if they're really complimenting them. I feel like they're throwing a little shade that my eyebrows are too overdone. So it's kind of made me a little more self-conscious about how I fill them in. Now I'm going to go in with my foundation. So I am using what has been my all-time favorite foundation, the Becca Aqualuminous Perfecting Foundation, and I'm in the shade Light, which is honestly probably a little too dark for me right now, but I'm gonna make it work, especially after I apply some concealer and stuff like that. So I just take the dropper and kind of draw, like just drop it against my skin and draw little squiggles everywhere that I want to apply the product. For a while, I was using a beauty blender to blend in this foundation, and I just found that I really didn't like it. I just felt like I was using up way too much product for the amount of coverage that I was getting, or like the beauty blender would just really diminish the already light coverage of the foundation. So now I like using my Artis brush, and this is the Artis Oval 7 brush. And just using very light pressure, this will give me even coverage that's really streak free, and it's a very expensive makeup brush, so I understand if not everyone has it, but basically I just recommend using a makeup brush over a beauty blender for this. And now, because I did do my eyebrows first, I just very carefully ran the brush around the edges, which is the only downfall of doing your eyebrows first. It's so funny, when I film, the lighting is so much better than when I do my makeup on a daily basis, so I can really tell if a color is slightly off on me, or like if I'm not blending as much as I probably should be. So I feel like you guys get the best judgment of how I'm doing my makeup, because I can definitely judge myself a lot more in here than I can when I'm doing my makeup on a daily basis. Okay, time for concealer. I'm using two different ones today. I don't know why, I just feel like I always use two concealers. So the first concealer is the Becca Aqualuminous Perfecting Concealer, and it's a super hydrating concealer, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of it underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to take the Maybelline New York. All right, well, this doesn't have the name of it, but this isn't my Maybelline concealer. I was using these for a really long time, and this is in the shade Fair, number 15, and it's basically a new bottle, and I just kind of started using it again because my other concealer, I felt like I'm getting super pale, and I guess I wanted more of like a brightening, lightening effect one day. And I'm going to blend this out with my Artis Oval 6 brush. So I'm going to start underneath the eyes first, and generally just work in the order of how I applied it. I leave the center of my nose last, just that way that can kind of set in place. So now I am concealed. I don't think my brows really need any retouching, but I am going to go ahead and throw a little bit of the Benefit Highbrow brow highlighting pencil just up here, right under my arch, nowhere else. And I am actually going to use my finger just because I forgot the brush that I normally use for this, and I'm lazy and I don't want to go get it. So just using my middle finger and very gently patting, dabbing, swiping, but not dragging it in. And I just do that to add a little more dimension, because recently I've been feeling like my eyeshadows just kind of make everything look flat. And to counteract that, I want to bring a little more dimension back into my face. So now that the eyebrows have been deemed good enough for today, because they're never perfect, but good enough, I'm just swiping some clear brow gel through them. And I like using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I've always used this. It's just the best for getting a really firm set in your eyebrows. Time to prime the eyelids. So I'm using the NARS eyeshadow base, which is another all-time favorite for me. And just applying that across my lid using only my ring finger, and again, very, very gentle pats. While that sets, I'm just going to go ahead and set underneath my eyes. I do still set underneath my eyes, especially in the winter, and some days I'll set my face generally, even though it's like a drier time of the year. but it kind of depends. But the eyes I do generally like to do because I get some creasing under there. And I'm just using a stippling brush. This one's from MAC. It's the 131, but I think that's under their old numbering. Oh, and did I say this is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, shade number 1. For my eyeshadow, what I have been using recently is one of like the oldest eyeshadow duos that I think I have ever had in my collection, but I honestly love it, and I don't know why I stopped using it before like using it up, but this is the NARS Madrog palette, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one, but it's their most basic matte palette or duo with like a little like cool toned brown and then a cream shadow or a cream shade, and I don't really use the cream because it's basically the same color as my skin. But I do love this brown shade because it's not too cool, it's not too warm, and I think in the winter I just have really been loving it. So I'm taking a good amount of it on a Sigma E25 blending brush, and I am just going to run it through where my socket bone should be. If you guys can see, it does kind of like, because I'm doing it on a blending brush and not a really fine brush, it's okay for it to get down here. I kind of drag the extra color down there, but I really focus it in the crease, and I'll go back in, grab a little more, and just build it right through that socket. And what I love about this eye is that it's simple. It's an everyday eye, but some days if I want a little more going on, I'll just take a brown shimmering eyeshadow and pat it right through the center of my eye to my inner corner. Today I'm going to do that with a little bit of highlighter, and you can build up the intensity. You could keep it super simple and just do this, but it's really just the easiest eye to do. It gives you that dimension that I'm looking for at least, and is really low maintenance. So I'm gonna take a little more of that same shade onto a little pencil-y like flat brush and just apply it to my lower lash line. Because I do want to add up a little more intensity into my crease, I'm actually going to go into my contouring palette, which I'm going to be using to contour my face later. And this is just the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And I'm going to take the cool tone brown all the way in this corner, and just on the brush that I contour my nose with, which this is the shade that I will contour my nose with, I'm just going to take it on this super thin flat eyeshadow brush, just on like the top edge of the brush. And this is a MAC 242 shadow brush, and I'm just going to essentially draw a cut crease. And while I'm in this palette, since I'm already here, I'm just going to contour my nose. So the way that I do that is just take the flat edge of this brush. And you guys definitely don't have to contour your nose, but I live for it. So I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and work that into my crease. And then on a fluffy blending brush, I'm just going to blend in the nose contour. And this is one of the few things that I will use my finger to just kind of help tap in that product, just because I feel like your finger really helps blend it in a clean way without like moving the product. And on a nose contour, you definitely need that. So to add a little something to my eyeshadows, which were very matte and plain, I'm taking the Hourglass Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette and taking the shade Lucent Strobe Light, which is the like brownie. It's this shade over here, and I'm just taking my pinky and I'm going to apply just a little bit to my inner corner, and then just kind of patting it out. Inner corner. Now I can finish up with some liquid eyeliner and then my mascara. So, liquid eyeliner, as always, the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. And I'm using the CoverGirl Supersizer Fibers Mascara. And this mascara happens to be at the very end of its life. So mascara is done, and I am going to move on to contouring my face. So I'm going back into my Shade and Light palette, and recently, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't always love this palette, and then I was watching a tutorial where someone was talking about it, and I kind of was like, let me start reusing this. And I slowly started integrating it back into my routine, and now I'm going to try and commit to using it at least for the winter time. So because I half contour and half bronze with my powders, I am going to take a mixture of just a little bit of the lightest shade and a little bit of the medium shade. So that's Shadow Play and Sombre, I believe. And I'm just taking a Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86 brush and just applying it to where the where the contours of my face are. So underneath my cheekbones, a little bit at my temples. I like to apply it here to kind of shorten or like narrow my forehead. And of course, pop out those cheekbones, because who doesn't love a good cheekbone moment? Whatever's left underneath my neck. I'm wearing a mock neck right now, so I can't really bring it down or anything. And then whatever's extra, I just kind of will blend down the side of my nose. I am going to apply a little bit of blush, because if I skip blush, I don't love blush, but if I skip it, I feel like my face just loses color, obviously. So this is the NARS. I'm noticing that I'm using all NARS products today, which is so weird. Or at least I feel like it's all NARS. Maybe it isn't. But this is the NARS blush in the shade Sin, which is honestly probably my all-time favorite blush shade, especially in the winter. So I'm just taking a fluffy MAC 113 brush and just applying it in the same shape that I apply contour. So like in this downwards kind of shape. But just, yeah, you guys get the point. It's blush. And then to basically finish this off, besides lips, because I'm not gonna forget lips today, I'm going back into my Hourglass Strobing palette, and I'm going to take that same bronzier shade and a little bit of the center shade, because I'm all about mixing shades in my palettes apparently, and I'm just going to pop it at the back of my cheeks, like at the top of my cheekbone, but just like in this bottom little like 2-inch section, and on this side too, and then a little bit on the tip of my nose, and then running whatever extra center of my chin, and just a little bit up here. I love highlight. I swear I wasn't gonna forget it, so I'm not forgetting it. I am just taking a little bit of the Makeup Forever. These are the Aqua Lip pencils in the shade 2C. Honestly, I'm not very picky with my lip shades, especially for a neutral eye look, but I'm going for like an everyday, nothing crazy. You could definitely add like a pop-in color, getting this all over, and then I'm a pack girl, so patting this in to just give me a little bit of color. I feel like in the winter especially, I try not to do too much on my lips, just because my lips get so dry, and the worst thing for them is just layer on lip product. So this is the finished look. I hope that you guys liked it. If you love makeup videos and you want me to do more of them, leave it in the comment section down below. Yeah, so that's it. I hope that you guys liked it. This is kind of what I've been doing on a daily basis, but it's just such a good routine for the winter. If you do have oily skin, you could powder. I did bring my powder, but I'm not really feeling like I want to powder this right now. But yeah, I hope that you guys liked it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video if you want to see more content from me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!